just start it now.
Yeah, might as well.
Yeah. Listen, I wanted to have it up when people arrived because then we look all professional and, you know. Okay, where's Amanda? And...
Sky is take a quick water refill and bathroom break. Lizzie, I've got a question. I'm like the worst. Are you, by chance,
serious right now?
a fan of and flying?
Ooh.
Oh, well, that was a trick question because you are. Are you hungry? Do you know what time it is? Girl, it's not even time for you to eat for real. I mean, that was mean of me, but like also, you're a cat. Where's your internal clock?
What? You looked really shocked for a moment there.
She's like, oh, my fave.
Well,
I'll be right back.
It was the voice. That's what I was being shocked about again for the 5 billionth time.
The recorder.
Yeah. Need to get my docs.
I wanted my docs, but I've misplaced them. No, but it's on silent, so even if you
Oh, I grabbed the link, so I was gonna go plunk it in the chat, just so it's there.
Where, if I was my phone, where would I live?
Where
That's
were
a
you
tough
before
one.
going in?
I got it. It was on my desk the whole time. Let's not worry about it. We don't need to discuss what just happened.
Oh, but we do. Just kidding.
Okay, I need to open the right doc. There we go. Oh yeah, that was. I think that was fun. I think people enjoyed themselves.
We had a good time.
Yeah, we did.
Mm-hmm.
Amanda is here. Okay, I'm just gonna tell Amanda that. Hey Amanda, I just have one thing to tell you specifically in that right after we do our intro, do the KPSN plug then, like the charity plug then, just because I feel like it'll break up it weirdly otherwise.
Perfect. Sounds good.
All right,
No,
I'm just gonna...
I clicked, apparently, I scrolled up thinking that we had the link in the chat, and I was clicking the himbo link, and then I was like, wait, we're not talking about himbos. This isn't us.
It's like, it seems like something we would be, but... Okay, I'm gonna let everyone in. We're 3 minutes too, so we can just have like a... Yeah.
This is like what Natalia and I do every single time we start.
I know.
Zoom meeting. We're like silently
we have like a silent little group to our own music.
What's funny is I never listen to music, so I just bob around to.
I'm currently not listening to any music, and I'm like,
I am. I'm listening to Mamamoo. So, hi everyone. Welcome. Make sure to put your mics on mute when you get in. Thank you. Beth says hello. We love to see it, Beth. We love to see it. Who's ready to talk about K-pop and K-dramas? Whoop, whoop. Whoop, whoop. In 2 minutes. We'll start in 2 minutes. We're going to start right on time. We're very punctual over here.
yeah, sure.
Yeah,
Hey.
Oh.
We're switching it up for this thing.
Professionalism.
Yeah.
Hi, Chris.
Mm-hmm.
And remember, Noonas, that I'm the one on time, so if I'm doing gestures of some sort.
You're doing something.
That's what it is.
I'm like when we were trying to do speed round and Natalia's going like this and I'm like, yeah,
Oh,
wait. You mean? Yeah.
I just wasn't a thumbs
Wait,
up.
what was gonna happen plan is once I see Sky make the signal, I'm just gonna move the slide to the next one, and you know you're done. So it's gonna be good.
Like award shows where you just like start playing
the
and
music
off. Okay, we're gonna start in 1 minute. No, yes, 1 minute. We're starting in 1 minute. Let's give people some time to get in here.
I can do the hand choreo for alcohol free now for the chorus, and I can do the legs, but I can't do them at the same time. It does not.
Baby steps.
No.
You just,
So,
you know, you're
just work
working
on
with it.
I've seen a game before on a little variety show thing where they mix the top part of the body and the bottom part of the body with dances, and you had to do them at the same time.
Oh
no.
lordy.
Like, is it like, do we look like what we sound like? I've always wondered this.
Yeah, I always feel like when I like listen to people for a very long time and then I actually see what they look like, I'm like, oh, it's not like a picture.
Yeah.
I mean, it's fine. It's just weird because you're just a voice.
Well, it's like when we were in that planning meeting for this with all the different people, and most people had their cameras on and people still didn't know who they were until they spoke, and then they were like, oh, it's you. Yeah.
Alrighties, it is 5 p.m., which means it is time to start. We have a late joiner. Hello, Vicky. Welcome. Make sure to put on your mute. Thank you very much. Oh, so prompt. We love to see it. So, welcome. And I'm gonna start this with the traditional Noonas greeting, which is, my mom told me not to talk to strangers on the internet, but I'm glad I didn't listen. We are the Certified Noonas, your sisters in the love of Asian entertainment.
Hi, I'm Amanda.
I'm Jessie.
I'm Natalia.
And I'm Sky.
And today we are coming to you with the most exciting PowerPoint slide you've ever seen. No, it's fun. It's fun. We're gonna talk about the K-pop to K-drama pipeline.
Hey, it's my alt bias, so like
Yeah.
it is exciting.
Yeah.
Guys, like, we can just keep it here.
It's fine.
Yeah, we don't need to move back from here.
It's fine.
So before we do that, we wanted to do like a little introduction to like who we are and what we do and, you know, all of that good stuff. So we're the Certified Noonas. Obviously, you can click the name. You know that it's us. We're a podcast that's been running for many years now. We cover all things Asian entertainment from all of the Asian continent, basically. Nothing is off limits. And today we're going to focus specifically on K-pop and K-dramas is what we're going to be doing. But before we do that, I believe we have a little word from our sponsor. Amanda, take it away.
Did you know that July is Minority National Mental Health Month? Formally recognized in 2008, the month focuses on bringing awareness to the unique struggles of underrepresented groups in the U.S. As participants of the KPSN Podcast Fest, the Certified Noonas have contributed to the events donation to the group NAMI, which stands for the National Alliance for Mental Illness. Mm-hmm. And if you would like to help support this very worthy cause, you can visit donate.nami.org and leave a little donation there.
Indeed. It's for a really great cause, and we're really glad that everyone here is coming to support it, and we love to see it. So we are going to get started now. So the first thing, which for us came first? Was it the idols, or was it the dramas? Ooh. And please feel free to comment in the chat, and we're keeping track.
What came first for you?
Yeah,
what came
definitely.
first for you? Yeah, we love to hear it.
Well, we kind of talked. Oh, sorry. Go ahead. This is what we do. It
was dramas for me, for sure. So dramas led to K-pop idol actors led to, you know, OSTs, and away we go.
And so for me, it was technically K-pop to K-drama, but it's like kind of not really. We talked about it a little bit in the Meet the Host thing, but I technically was in it for J-dramas and then found out that it was really hard to find J-dramas. So then I was like, I'll find a K-drama, and I picked the K-drama based on my love of the group SS501. So it's a little bit weird, but I guess it's technically
You got there.
K-pop before drama.
So Jessie and I are basically the same person. If you attended our meet and greet, you'll notice this. It was basically the same for me too. I was really into anime and J-pop and stuff in my teens, and then, you know, that sort of led into K-pop, and then I watched Boys Over Flowers for no reason other than I just clicked it randomly, and then I watched more, and now I can't tell which I love more. I think I love them, but they're both my children. It's a real Sophie's choice.
Yeah.
Like, who do you love more, K-pop or K-dramas? But yeah.
K-dramas definitely came first for me. I was in a drama watching phase, and then, but the dramas I was picking were kind of like idol-esque themed, like at least the first one was, and the first couple were actually. So definitely in that process, I slowly was like, what's the thing about K-pop? So that's how I found K-pop after that.
We have in the chat, we have some things. A lot of people, it's like real split. Like half the people started with K-pop, half the people started with K-drama. We have a comment from Naira Evergenescence, which is so many people started with Boys Over Flowers. And I think that's because that was like one of the first ones that was easily available in
everywhere.
It was like the most popular too.
Yeah.
But like, especially when you're first going into it, and then at the time, you know, you're not gonna put down money on Drama Fever and Vicky, and
if
it's on Netflix and easy and legal, and you're like, well, it is the first like thing that pops up, so
exactly.
And it was a time that there weren't as many K-dramas on Netflix. That was, I mean, wasn't that pretty much it?
Yeah, basically you didn't have that many. Like you had like an amount, but it wasn't as diverse as it is now too.
Yeah.
And they were like on and off with dramas. Like when I first started watching K-dramas, it was like every month the lineup changed drastically.
Yeah.
I think there was a period that like Boys Over Flowers wasn't on Netflix too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We have Shantai in chat saying that she started with K-pop, or they started with K-pop, sorry, I don't want to gender anyone. But their first K-drama was Marriage Before Dating, which is one of my favorite comedies.
Oh, I love that one.
It's a good
one.
That's a good one.
It's great when people start out with like a, you know,
really good
you
one.
can see why they stuck with it if they start out with a really good one.
Although it can be disappointing, because when you start out real good and then you go down, you're like, oh,
like,
that's
no.
true.
Like that kind of actually happened to me. I guess the first K-drama I did try, it was a web series, and I didn't know the whole like production value difference between that and a normal series. And so then I was afraid of K-dramas for a little bit, and then it was like, oh, the real shows are totally different than this tiny web drama that was not that great.
Right.
Speaking of web dramas, we're next going to talk about idol dramas versus web dramas. What is an idol drama? What is a web drama? I think idol dramas are often, it's sort of misinterpreted what people think they are. They think that any drama that has an idol starring in it is an idol drama. That is not the case, because idol dramas are a very specific subsection of dramas that are usually web dramas. So web dramas are dramas that are produced for the web. Usually they're produced by companies in order to promote some sort of product in a more sneaky way, right? Like for, you know, sometimes they're just stories, but a lot of the times they are made by companies and they're just put out on the web, usually for free for anyone to watch. You can find a bunch of them on, there's a bunch on Viki, there's a bunch on YouTube that you can watch for free. But an idol drama is when an idol group makes a drama that's sort of in the same vein of promotion, but they're promoting themselves. Whether or not they're doing this in an effective way is really subjective. So there are two that I think people think of the most when they're thinking of idol dramas. Oh, we're getting there, Shantai. I see you jumping ahead of us. So one of them is the web drama Dream Nights, starring GOT7 as I wish I was kidding about the plot of this. That are magical dolls that come to life to help a girl learn to dance. But then there's also half of them are good dolls and half of them are evil dolls that are like fighting against the good dolls. I just want to say I did watch the entirety of Dream Nights, and the opening credits are
great.
Good.
Oh my gosh.
Credits are wild, but they are not at all what you were about to experience in the drama.
Really baits you.
It's a real bait and switch.
You keep waiting for them to like cut to that, like, and they don't.
They don't.
They never do.
The second big one that people recognize that is in this slide here is EXO Next Door. And the way I can describe EXO Next Door is in about 2012, YN fan fictions where it's like she's just an average girl who lives next door and the hot guys all want her for some reason despite the fact she has no personality. That's basically the plot of EXO Next Door, whereupon this, awkward girl next door, like EXO, moves into the house next door to her and she becomes like their maid. And it's just what it does feature, I think, some of the funniest comedy I've ever seen, with Sehun and this girl's brother forming this bizarre codependent relationship. The show is a trip, okay? It's a trip, and it's a wild time. On the other hand, we have the web dramas. So, as I said, web dramas are just dramas. Some of them star idols, some of them don't star idols, but web dramas are also a really good way for idols to have their first drama acting credit, because, if you're untried in the, acting world, it would be harder to book jobs. So often these web dramas will, have idols in them as either the lead or the secondary characters. And they, Dingo web dramas. So Shantai says web dramas from Dingo are fun. They are. And that's one of the companies that makes a lot. They vary in quality. So some of them are really good, and some of them you question why you're still watching it. Like you're like, do I love my bias enough to continue this adventure? But some of them are excellent. Like, for example, YouTube made a web drama, a web series called Top Management that is so excellent. Like, just great. Suho was in one. Suho from EXO was in one called Star of the Universe, which is also really quite good. And the one that's in this slide, which stars our favorite Kim Sil-gi, Splash Splash Love, is probably one of the best web dramas I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Splash Splash Love is the best.
You forget it's a web drama, really.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. You're just like, it's like a little short form film, and it's quite delightful. Recently, ex-idols and ex-idol trainees have also, a few of them have made the first foray into BL web dramas. There's a show called Mr. Heart, which starred an ex-Produce 101 ex guy, and a former member of The Boys was in the web drama Color Rush. Those are all on Viki. Web dramas, they're a really good way to get yourself into K-dramas, and mostly to support your faves who might be acting in them. But since they're so short, it doesn't feel like the, the commitment that a 16 episode or 20 episode drama would be. Beth says, I think most of the web dramas I watched are either starring Sung Hoon or BL dramas. Sung Hoon is another or Roy Bang if you're familiar with his music career. He's another favorite of the Noonas. But yeah, so web dramas, I think they're also a good way to, like, in the sense of BLs, it would be harder in a conservative country like Korea to pitch a, LGBTQ full-length series, but you can sort of work your way up into it using web dramas as a sort of theme to, make that a thing. And with all K-dramas, there's a web drama for everyone. There's there's a little something for everyone out there. So next we have a very sort of real specific subsection of web entertainment. And Jessie, I think you're going to take this one for us.
Yes. So while it still happens today, it's not as frequent. Drama reenactments were a very big thing, especially with second gen K-pop, and they tie in to the dramas, like the idol dramas and the web dramas, because of their lack of quality and it being almost like maybe like some kids in high school with a video camera for the very first time making stuff,
making a YouTube video,
so when you see these drama reenactments, they're really like the idol groups kind of putting together in various different production qualities, like reenactments of like popular dramas at that time. So you see this like specifically a lot with some of the older second gen stuff. So like 2 PM has a bunch of them. Shiny has done them. Big Bang, obviously. And where like they just take what was like very popular and they like cast themselves in the roles. And sometimes they'll get into them.
They'll like, take it to extremes.
Yeah, it kind of it kind of gives you like a really good sense of like what the group is as humans, if they can do stuff like do an entire Secret Garden reenactment with all males. But they're like really fun, and I think they're a little bit like more of a like what the idol dramas do as a fan service thing for the fans to kind of see them do some fun things and do some silly things and also get more content, especially back in when they were doing second gen. You didn't have V-Lives and all that stuff, so like this was another thing to like kind of get like fans excited about the group when they were on their off time in between comebacks and that sort of thing. But we do still see them today. Sometimes you only kind of see them maybe like in SNL skits or just like very small skits, but you do have like a couple of groups that have done some bigger ones. Notably, Dreamcatcher has done one for The World of the Married, which if you haven't watched that, you have to watch that. They go so into detail on this like little parody. It's insane. Like they'll have like the background music done by themselves. Like it's completely like it's all just done by them. They have like their props are like cut out like objects,
cardboard,
like, they have their cardboard wine glasses. They like go into detail and stuff. You also have like Monster X did on their Monster X-Ray. They had a little like, it was kind of like a
multi-drama spoof.
Yeah, it kind of leans into Boys Over Flowers, but it kind of leans into a lot of different just dramas or just like very prevalent drama tropes. And so they did that on that, and it's called The Temperature of the Golden Way and Dignity. It's
so good.
It is so good.
So good.
There's also a like kind of like a specific one. Here comes my cat because she really wants to be talking about reenactments.
Of course.
There is a specific one that like was actually a produced one. It is a 2013 parody of The Heirs, and master's son. It was called Miracle. It was part of SBS's friendship project, and it has pretty much every second gen group you could ever think of, like all of SHINee, all of EXO, 2PM, A-Pink's in there, Son Gook's in there, FX is in there, like just a bunch of different people all in one. It was like kind of like made to get all these like kind of idols together to make this like specific parody. But yeah, drama reenactments, well, not like specifically like professional, they do count in kind of this like pipeline, because you know you do see some of the you know group members who are kind of like more into what they're doing kind of lead them into finding their way into the acting field. You know, a lot of these groups also, all of the you know members have acting training just as their trainee days too. So
and I think we'd be remiss not to mention the SNL Cinderella and the Four Nights skit that 2PM did, which is probably some of the finest bits of comedy.
It's so funny, and I wish it wasn't so hard to find. Like
it's like it disappears.
It like disappears like super fast, but it's just so they just go all out on their drama reenactments, and they're so funny. So good.
So next, idol actors.
I like
what
this
are
picture.
They? Who are they? Where didn't you see them?
Oh my goodness, I just total brain freeze there for a second. This week, I think it was, that Jessie like shared on Twitter, somebody tweeted something. It was like pictures of 2PM in their comeback on stage, and she was like, imagine not knowing who 2PM was and being like, why are all these actors singing and dancing together on stage? And it was like, yeah, because some of us, you know, we get into it like, for me, a lot of times if I'm not super into a group, my bias is the one that I've seen in K-dramas already, and I'm like, oh, hey, I know that guy or girl. So, but yeah, like there's a lot more of them than you maybe are aware of. Sometimes it's obvious. Sometimes you're like when I was watching 20th Century Boy and Girl, I was like, okay, this kid who's playing the little brother is a giant, and all the other actors are petite, and he does not look like he belongs with this family. And I tweeted something to that effect, and somebody's like, that's the leader of Cross Gene. And I was like, well, there you go. Like, you know, sometimes the idol actor stands out as being an idol actor, and sometimes they really don't. Like, the reverse would be, for me, Chief Kim, watching that one and having people be like, you know, I was like early enough that I know that there's an idol actor in here somewhere. And so I'm like, oh, okay, Chaebol-sun, because often sort of secondary character Chaebol-sun is a good role for the idol actor. And I was like, he's not, and everyone was like, no, it's Junho. And I was like, he's the idol actor? Like, he's so good in this, you know?
I think you mean the actor.
Exactly. He's the actor. And a lot of actors started in an idol system. You know, you get some of that. For some of them, like Yui, she wanted to be an actress, but her gateway into getting there was to become an idol, and she had a hard time with that. Like, I think her first group disbanded, and then, you know, so she got there eventually, and now a lot of people know her as an actress. A lot of, I think that happens a lot with female actors, like idol actresses. You get a lot of these, some of these dramas like Sell Your Haunted House, or, what was the other one I was thinking of the other day? I can't remember now off the top of my head. But you get, like say Walk of Love or something. Like, you get these ones and people will go, wow, that idol actor is doing a really good job. He's really holding his own against that actress. And you're like, that actress is also an idol. Like, hey.
Wow.
You just don't know because she's...
Yeah.
But like with the idol actresses, especially the older ones, I mean, K-pop has like an expiration date. It thinks that your voice disintegrates after you're 22 or something. So like a lot of the girl groups don't keep going for that long. So then you have like Sell Your Haunted House and Jangnara and stuff. Like you have these actresses who are 35, 40 who haven't been in a group for 15 or 20 years or something, but that's where they started. Like that is how they got their foot in the door. And yeah, you get that a lot with the guys too, like all the 2 p.m. guys, because they've been, you know, out in the military. For a lot of people, that's probably, if you're just more recent into like K-pop and K-dramas and stuff, all you'll know is what you saw on Netflix or whatever, and then they come back and you're like, oh, music too, yay! Like it's very exciting. So
I think a good example of that is Im Shawan from Strangers from Hell and Miss Sang and stuff. Like I feel like since his group hasn't really been active for a while, I feel like people sort of forget that they're actually.
And his bandmate, oh my goodness, I had that on the. No, I was thinking of, isn't it from Do Bong Soon? Park Hyung-sik. He was in Zia too, and like nobody thinks of him as an idol actor. You know, like when people watch Hwarang, they're like, oh, and there's idols in here, and you know they all have these cute. Like, look at V, he's in there as a side character and stuff, and you're like, yeah, but the second lead, he's also an idol.
The main dude. The main dude.
Hello? Like, you know, and I find that really funny because, like, as Sky's going to talk about some of that, you know, some people have a real bias against idol actors, and you'll see people kind of go off that way. Like, I saw it with, you know, Sell Your Haunted House. Like, people like, ooh, wow, he's really doing a good job. And you're like, well, yeah, he's been acting for like 20 years. So like, you know, okay. But also, so is she. Like, you're like, like it is funny sometimes to see how people don't realize like that there are these actors that are primarily idols or originally idols, and maybe they're not active anymore. Maybe they are active and you're just not in that corner of K-pop or C-pop or J-pop, because a lot of these actors and actresses have careers. Like Jangnara had mostly a musical career in China, and she's still somewhat active as far as that goes. And you know, so if you're only in K-pop, you maybe don't know what kind of musical experience they have, and to, you know, just to be focused on like this one idol actor who's playing this bit part, and it's, you know, it's a great way for them to play in the bit parts, is a great way to get in there. But often that same drama will have like 2 or 3 other idol actors. You know, in the Jeopardy today, they had one of the Jeopardies on here, they had a question about idol actors, and one of the dramas, they were like, this one actually has 2 idols in it, and I was like, this one actually has 3 idols in it, but y'all don't know, do ya?
Well, you've also got the like little group of kids who they were going to debut in an idol group and they didn't, and then they went into acting, like the kid from Still 17 and Abyss. He was supposed to be like part of GOT7, like
yeah,
and now only anybody knows him as an actor. Like I saw the chat, like So and Good, like people don't realize that he started his career as a singer. He was an idol singer.
So basically what we're saying is, idols in my drama, it's more likely than you think.
Exactly.
We have a question in chat. We have a question in chat saying, what do y'all think of actor groups who kind of do music like Five Prize?
Surprise!
Love it. You know, it's fun. It's fun.
Yeah.
And also they're great actors, so
yeah.
What's not to love? What's not to love?
And there aren't that many of them. I know that they were the first ones to do that, like that, to do that like concept and kind of sell it pretty hard. And then Fantasio did, was it Surprise You? Like pretty much a spin-off group, which was again actors. And then
I mean, honestly, they're already doing all the like training for it anyways, so it just doesn't, it kind of actually makes sense to do that too. Like you're already giving these idols like training and acting, so
well, and then like with Surprise or 5-year prize or whatever we're calling them, Fur Prize, I always call it Fur Prize in my head, but like that was how they got started, similar to the idol drama scenario. They have their own idol drama where they all play characters, you know, essentially all play themselves doing stuff. And what was After School Ready or Not or something like that.
That was wild. What a wild series.
Which is a wild drama.
What a wild drama.
Fun. Crazy fun. But like, yeah, they very much fit into that scenario of having like, here, we're going to have our own drama to give you some experience, to give you, you know, pad your resume, so to speak, and then you can go out into the world. And it's not an uncommon thing. Like, I think it's less common in Korea, but like, I think there are Japanese groups like that, and Chinese groups, like they have these groups of actors that they, you know, promote that way as groups. Thai groups do it.
Oh, very common in Thailand, like in the,
you know, it's not as common in Korea, but it is definitely something that they would know about in the industry.
So we're going to take a little detour now, and we're going to talk about dramas that are about K-pop. Because I feel like, you know, a lot of people, if they're only here from the K-pop world, then they haven't explored dramas yet. This might be a good bridge. Sky, take it away.
So, and like I said earlier, that kind of my bridge into K-dramas was I liked the music-themed dramas. I have a soft spot for those. So I will say there's a lot of them out there, and some of them now we have to judge accuracy by what we know as Western people way over here, but some are, we would assume, rather inaccurate or probably a little fantastical, but they can still be themed around either music or idol life or entertainment industry. There's definitely a lot, especially if you go that broad, there's a lot of entertainment industry dramas, a ton. But there are some on the other end of it that, so maybe there might be aspects of it that are kind of silly or might not be that accurate, but you can sometimes kind of find a bit of truth in them too. Like things you've seen in the music industry before, and you kind of see that mirrored a little bit in a drama. But then some of the dramas, as far as we know and what we've seen, they do kind of hit more, they kind of cover a lot of ground and topics, kind of like Imitation. That's one that's currently airing. It's obvious that they're covering a lot, you know, they're covering a lot of aspects of idol life and trainee life and a ton of things. So there's definitely a lot out there. So some of them are kind of about fake bands, like that's kind of a whole subsection too, which I enjoy fake band dramas.
They are fun. They are fun.
But so some of them, like, so I married an anti-fan. So I mean, you get aspects in there, but it's not really focusing as much on trying to unravel every aspect of idol life. I don't think, correct? Like I haven't watched that one.
Yeah, I did watch it, and it was more about the entertainment industry as a whole and the sort of variety shows, which all, you know, it's interconnection. Yeah.
So do you guys have any favorite K-pop dramas? Any that?
I'm very biased, but if you're looking at this slide that I've done here, there's a drama called The Producers, and it's one of my favorite, you know, K-pop themed dramas. And another one, I would say Hit the Top. Or The Best Hit.
The Best Hit,
So The Best Hit, I think, is a really good example of, it definitely has like fantasy elements in it because there's time travel. So of course that's that's not real. But
What?
That we know of.
that we know.
That we have personally experienced. Yeah.
But definitely the peeks into like trainee life and stuff like that, like it seems like it's pretty close to reality from what we know.
We have Beth in chat is saying "You're Beautiful" is her favorite K-pop theme. Classic. It's a classic.
What about Amanda and Jessie? Do you guys have any favorites?
I don't know if I've got like the one that always comes to my mind is The Liar and His Lover, which I didn't actually love, but I really liked aspects of it, and some parts of it I think were really good. So
I specifically like the bands that kind of like do stuff. So like there's a show called One More Time with Elle from Infinite and stuff, and it's a smaller drama too. It might have even been a web drama. I don't know that much. It's pretty highly produced though, and it's on Netflix. That one's a good one, but it focuses on, and it has like a fantasy like element too, because there's a repeat of the day. It's a Groundhog's Day kind of thing, but it's like kind of more focused on like his character, who is just like doing busking on, and being an indie artist and then getting swooped up by a label. So it's like less on idol life and more on like bands becoming big, which is not like very prevalent, especially because like rock isn't that like the top genre in just in Korean popular music in general. But like, I'm not going to say I like it, but like we have to bring up Dream High.
We do,
because it's just such a big one, and I think a lot of people like that was their introduction to like 2 p.m. too, and that one's kind of in this like weird, like it's not an idol drama in that it was like produced like because of these idols, but like every JYP member is in it in some point, including JYP.
It is.
I mean, like I guess you would technically say this is like that's what skyrocketed Suji's career. Like she got the lead in that, and then like now she is mostly known for her dramas and not her music.
We got some more Rex in chat. We have Best Love, great one. We have one called Must You Go. I haven't seen that one. I'm gonna check it out.
Yeah, definitely.
And then Shantae, I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing your name. She says her guilty pleasure is Dream High. Feel you, girl. Feel you.
I can understand. Like, friend. I'm not gonna like say that. Like, there are some aspects of it that I don't like. I use character. It's not a good representation. But I do understand the kind of love for it, and especially for who it's for. Like, it's not me. It's not for like me, almost 40-year-old. Like, it's for like teenagers, and I have to understand that. And there's like there are some like kind of good like moments to it,
I just need to read this comment from Beth because same girl. She says, I didn't know who JYP was when I watched Dream High, and I was wondering who the creepy dude was. Yeah, we all were. We all were.
So it just makes me think of that Jackson reacting to JYP on stage, and it's like,
Probably my favorite K-pop one, we've already mentioned it. So Top Management, it's a YouTube Premium, so if you already have that, but really well done, and it's pretty much follows an idol group. And it has some fantasy elements in it about seeing the future. So that's not very accurate for real life, but a lot of aspects of it. They even talk about like fan fiction and idols being aware that fan fiction exists and things that were kind of just funny. But the way they would talk about V lives or something, it all hit very close to reality.
But I also entirely all idols too, even like the older characters.
Yeah. And then I really liked her private life, which that's kind of a different aspect because Park Min-young plays a fan site manager, whatever they're called, fan site person, photographer and all that. And I thought they did really well handling that, as they didn't, I mean, yes, they showed some funny aspects of what you would deal with as a person that's a fan site manager or something, but they were respectful of the fact that some people get joy out of that, and that's okay. Even as
Mm-hmm.
an adult, that's fine. And I thought they handled it really well. And putting that in a little rom-com format was pretty cool.
Yeah. Also, for those of you who are a little more aesthetically inclined, the male lead of that is fine. He's fine.
And also, there's an idol playing the idol, and he's also very pretty young man.
Yes.
Idols.
Really got something for everyone of all ages.
And also, for the record, so that's kind of something to mention. Sometimes when you see a band or an idol group in a drama, they might not be named what they are in real life, but they're often a group. So like that happened in her private life. Like it was the group. At least some of them. And just like S501, the members that showed up in Boys Are Flowers and stuff like that.
Yeah, because they have their scene where they're actually like performing on stage too.
So you always get those little Easter eggs, and if you know, you're like, hey!
Or like something like Zombie Detective, where with members of Ace, just like randomly.
I love how they got like recurring roles. Like that was just really the way they implemented that was really cool. Like I thought that was a good writing move. Of course, I'm biased with the fact that they got more scenes, but I thought it was cool. As opposed to a one-off, let's do this dance, we never see you again. Like they actually gave them little characters. I thought that was pretty neat.
So taking it back to a more serious topic, we're talking about the stigma of the idol actor. Dun, dun, dun. Dun, dun, dun.
So this becomes it can become a pretty big topic if you're in the corners of social media where you like to have debates and things like that. And some of us we don't tend to go debate much because it's frustrating. But and you know, it's easy to be biased against certain people, I guess. I think that people just really need to be careful about assuming things about idols. Often it's people that are mainly K-drama fans who don't really know K-pop much. They don't understand the idol system much, as far as knowing that they do take acting classes from like square one. All of them do, even to just be an idol. So I feel like it's easy for them to form a bias, and kind of the thing that comes up is, you know, idol actors, they get given roles just because they're pretty or just because they help sell the drama, things like that. The reality is there's a lot of actors that also get roles without auditions too. I mean,
like what, you think Gong Yu is out here like schlumming it in the audition room? I don't think so. You know?
And I also, someone made a really good point recently this week on Twitter, and I hadn't really thought of vocalizing it like this, but the people that get very, very upset about idol actors, quote unquote, taking roles from just actors, one thing you have to remember is active idols can only take so many roles to begin with. They're busy. They have to go do their comebacks and be with their group and do a ton of other things. Even if you're upset about whoever taking various roles from whatever favorite actor or actress you have, just know that it's usually maybe 1 or 2 dramas a year. Like, and also, really don't, quote unquote, take that many roles from people.
Yeah, and also it's a sort of a false equivalence because no one was ever promised those roles.
Right.
Yeah.
To begin with. Like, a choice was made, and they're not out there thieving role, like coming up in the dark of night and like snatching scripts out of people's hands.
It's not that's not what idols go do.
Well, and sometimes in these dramas too, especially with some of those roles, like the intern or the little brother or whatever, it's been written specifically as an idol role. Like the writer, they know they want to get an idol actor in here to draw those fans to do. What role are we going to create that is going to have enough screen time, but not so much. So if we get somebody with not a lot of acting experience, it's not going to, you know, draw down the show. But like some of these roles are written specifically to be your favorite unknown actor was never going to be up for that role. It was
Right.
made for an idol actor. Like they didn't steal it from anyone.
I think like a lot of people just need to actually be realistic and actually like understand that while we love it and while we wish it wasn't this way, the number one reason a drama is being produced is for money. And it's not a bad business decision to take like people who are already around, already part of like big companies, so like the contracts are super easy because you don't have to do much. And they're younger, so you can do a lot with them and have them in these like roles and get a great return on them, because you're going to get younger audiences who would probably never touch that drama if that person had been in there. And it's just it, like, I do like there is some negative to it. Like, it's not to say that like it always works out and like we should always just be like okay with idol actors, but you have to like be realistic with like your viewing and understand that it is a moneymaker. And especially like now, the past 2 years, like they're gonna be trying to get like the money recouped from all of this for years. So,
and it's like let's put it this way: would you rather have more idol actors or more product placement?
It's true.
So, you know, because both of those are money makers for a drama.
And also, I think that some people really get upset when they see even an actor, so not an idol. They get very upset sometimes when they see an actor or actress maybe not being the best of acting because they're new in their career. The reality is people have to learn. Like, sometimes they get a little bit bigger role and they know they're lucky and they try to do their best. And then maybe 3 years down the road, they're going to be 3 times better. But you have to give people room to grow and you have to give them experience, just like in the workforce. It's the whole, you know, can't get a job because you don't have experience. Well, you have to eventually let people try and learn and work with people. So it's the same thing with idol actors.
And I mean, and that's the same with actors too, right? Like some actors out there have a bad rep as a bad actor because their first drama was rough. And you're like, okay, but it's been 10 years now and they've been working this whole time. Maybe they got better. And
like also there's like things like bad direction too that could take
bad editing, bad
like,
writing.
Just because you think they're bad doesn't actually mean they're bad. Like, it's just that you don't prefer what they're doing with your interpretation of the media, which is fine, but that doesn't mean that they're inherently a bad actor. It's just they're not doing what you like need from the role, which can be a negative thing.
And like having a stigma against them, if you know, directors refused to hire, you know, idol actors, you know, we would never have my man, award-winning actor Do Kyung-soo, just killing it in every role he takes. So, you know.
And all of y'all who were, you know, were super excited for Junho to come back out of the army because you wanted to see him in a drama.
Yeah,
he started in music.
We see
like
you. We
you know,
see you.
I also look forward to watching him in dramas, but you know, he started with music, and the music's good too. So
I just want to point out there was a not your average netizen says they already eat at Subway too often.
There's a real pandemic. They need to like cut down on the sandwiches.
I'm literally watching a drama right now where one of the plot points is one of the main characters gets a job at Subway.
Nice.
What drama is that?
My Roommate is a Gummy Hoe, which also has an idol playing the main female role. So
I actually always think it's funny when the job thing comes up, because like, you know they're doing product placement. It's like, good on you for trying to put it in the plot. Like, you tried to make it logical that they're eating pizza 5 times a day. It's fine. But overall with idol actors, I just really want people to give them space to grow and give them the respect that they deserve, and also realize, again, when they're doing their acting, they're usually busy with other things too.
Mm-hmm.
So actors sometimes they might just be focusing on that one drama, which is great because dramas are huge time commitments.
Mhm.
But sometimes idols are having to not only do that, but go make appearances and commercials and all these other things too. Not that actors have commercials and things as well, but idols also have their group commitments or their solo commitments, to where you also have to remember, like, they only get so many shots a year to get their roles. So I wish people would give more props to idol actors, and also, like we mentioned, remember who idol actors are. And now they might see them as actors, but they did start in music.
They started out in the soup with the rest of us, you know.
And also, just as a side note, there's also musical theater people that end up in dramas and movies too. So that's true. So sometimes you don't know until all of a sudden they get like a musical number in a show. You're like, whoa.
Yeah. And it's funny because that's those people, like those actors, those musical theater actors, that's their bread and butter. And so some of them are really great actors, and you see them so rarely in K-dramas, and people are like, man, why? I wish they would do more. And you're like, they have been working all year. That's not where you can see them. Like,
they working hard.
Mm-hmm.
We're getting like, we have a call out. John Mido is a good example of that actor. Indeed. We're getting towards the end of our panel, so we're just gonna go with, some of our drama recommendations that feature idol actors in them. To seduce some of you K-pop people over to the K-drama world.
K-drama side.
So we've made a list, so we're not going to read off the entire list for you, but there's a lot out there, definitely.
There's a lot.
Mm-hmm.
But we can each pick one to mention, I guess.
We have to pick just, I think I'll go with Scarlet Heart Rayo, because it's, it's a great K-drama. It is a great drama with a lot going on, and Baekhyun's in there and IU's in there, and there's a lot. And I think the lead actor too also is a singer. He also has a singing career, so there's lots of singing, and the soundtracks are really good in it too. So
we have a little call out in chat. Now Your Average Netizen says, I'm recommending Coffee Prince for those on the panel who haven't finished it yet.
I'm getting there.
Jessie, what about you?
I'm gonna go crazy, because we did briefly touch on this, and we focus this on Korean stuff, but they're definitely especially in Japanese culture, a lot of the big J-pop groups will be in dramas where it's specifically every role that is female will be for the members. So I'm gonna recommend one that is on Netflix. It's called Remind. It's kind of like a psychological thriller, but it's not terrible, because you got to remember that it's all J-pop girls doing it. So they're a lot of the people that could be watching it are very young. But they're from the group, I'm gonna butcher it. It's Hinatazaka 46. But yeah, it's really good. I liked it and I enjoyed it, and it's on Netflix. So if you wanted to kind of break from Korean and move over to Japanese to see how they do that sort of thing.
Go to the dark side of the J-drama.
Yes.
What about you, Sky?
I've talked about top management way too much. So I am going to recommend Moment at 18. So I would think this is one that if people aren't, probably our audience presently is consuming both K-pop and K-drama. But I just think that if you're just on the K-drama side of things, you would not know that the lead in that and the way he acts is actually, he's a soloist now, but he was a part of a group for a temporary group. So
part of 101.
And then you also have an Astro member in it, Moonbin. So but you wouldn't be able to tell based on the tone of the drama. It's not like super light all the time, and I think it's a really good example of idols can act. It's okay. We can accept this and we can embrace it.
It's
and
fine.
enjoy
Let
it.
it in. Let it into your hearts. I'm gonna go on a real fluffy recommendation for mine, and while he's not strictly an idol per se, Seo In-guk did start out as a ballad singer before becoming an actor, and his drama Shopping King Louie is possibly the cutest, most harmless, sweetest thing that has ever been filmed. And it is funny, and it is adorable, and it is cute and romantic, and and it's great. And it's great. It even has a little musical theater theme at little scene in it at one point, involving someone being too scared to use an outhouse and someone having to sing dramatically outside of it to keep them company. So it's got it all. And of course, a favorite of the Noonas on the slide here, I use seminal classic Hotel del Luna.
It's so good.
So good, y'all. You should check it out. So we've only got about 5 minutes left. So we're just gonna chat with y'all for the next 5 minutes.
And if you guys have any questions,
any comments, put them in the chat, put them in the Zoom chat. We want to hear them. We want to hear from all the people.
Oh, and also just while we're waiting for people to give us questions, we will be doing a live stream very soon. Yes. So if you would like to participate in that and hang out with us, it will be on the 14th, I think.
I believe that is the correct date. Let me double check.
I'm doing this off the top of my
brain. It is on the 14th. It'll probably be in the evening of the 14th. Yeah. It'll be on YouTube, but we will be putting it on our Instagram, which, not our Instagram, well, yes, we'll probably put it on Instagram as well, but mostly our Twitter, which is @CertifiedNoonas. If you see on the slide here, I've also put all of our socials if you want to follow us and chat with us. We have a question. We have anyone excited about dramas to look out for in the second half of this year?
Ooh. We could talk about, very briefly, the one that we know has some idols in it is Island.
Yes.
Luna is in that.
Yes.
I think there is another idol in it.
I am so scared that I'm going to be scared, but I'm going to watch the heck out of it.
Very creepy, and I am down for that.
We'll watch it with you, Sky. We'll hold your hand mentally. Let's see. Next question from Liliana is my question would be, what keeps you coming back to K-dramas in general?
To Asian dramas in general, I think.
Asian. Oh, there was Asian dramas in general. I just really enjoy them. I don't know. I never really think that deeply into it.
I like that it's not a huge commitment, right? So, I can start something that's older and know that it's only 20 episodes or 16 episodes or however many episodes, as opposed to Western stuff. If you didn't start watching, Grey's Anatomy at the beginning, there's 11 seasons, or 50 seasons or whatever there is now. It's no, I can't. And I just don't want to. I usually get bored after about season 3 of something. So this is a fresh story and it's new all the time and there's always something new. And I like that.
To me, it feels like picking up a book. It's now, not that you can't have a series once in a while or whatever, but I do feel like you get the whole thing and you're done. And I often like that. Not to say, for instance, I'm stoked about Hospital Playlist season 2. Oh. I mean, I sometimes am down for some other seasons.
Listen, I loved me Kingdom season 1 and 2, and then pumped for the special episode in season 3. But it is what it is.
I like that they're short. That if the timing is not right or there's not something that you're interested in, that you don't have that long to wait before new stuff will be potentially in your like genre, and that's a fun thing to know.
There's fresh stuff coming out often.
Not like another season of this show that's been on for 11 seasons taking another spot.
Yeah. Chris, I have started So Not Worth It, and I quite enjoy it. It's goofy, but I like it. So I'm really enjoying Hyunmin in it.
We have a question from Jane, which is, do you have a favorite drama genre? Oh, do we?
Crime. In my head, this is like how sad it is. In my head, I was like, let the bodies hit the floor. Let the bodies hit the floor. Yeah, crime and horror. Yeah, that's mine.
Paranormal stuff, ghosts, demons, monsters. Give it to me.
Sports stuff. I like the sports stuff. Do I watch sports in real life? No. Well, roller derby, but not other sports. But I like me a sports movie.
I like a lot of action things, but on the flip side, I also like a lot of rom-com stuff. So those are my main go-tos, I think.
So it's just about done. We only have about 30 seconds left. So I just want to say thank you, everyone, for coming to our panel.
Thank you so much.
We had a really good time. We hope you enjoyed it. If you want to listen to us, you can go to certifiednoonas.com and find all of our episodes. We have a little something there for everyone. We got a little, we try to be inclusive, we hope to see you at our live stream on the 14th. It's more chaos of this nature. And
it'll definitely be more chaotic.
far less structured, far more chaotic
today.
Yeah, we were this professional Noonas. Yeah. We're gonna be white.
We're doing an educational series.
And we really appreciate you guys coming and talking with us.
We do. Yeah. And just so you know, tomorrow, Monday, a new episode is coming out that is all about the different streaming services that stream Asian content. So if you aren't sure where to watch stuff, we have you covered on Monday. So we hope that you'll all check that out. Alrighties. We hope everyone has a fantastic day and keeps enjoying Asian entertainment. Stay safe, everyone. Bye.
Bye.